welcome to this morning's yoga class. Let's get on the mat and start with our tiptoes and heels. Tiptoes and heels. And always remembering that there are alternatives. So you might love tiptoes and heels. I absolutely love it. But you might want to maybe do a little bit of funny walking like we did last time when we were heels, toes, edges, instep, edges, instep. And actually what's quite nice is if you do the funny walk is then to come back just for a moment to tiptoes and heels before you land the feet. It's like a double whammy then. You have to see how long you take a breath. And as you breathe out, just letting the feet go, feeling that lovely release into the ground. And then we're going to start with the hands. So again, you've got your favorites. You might just love a nice gentle stroke or a massage. And again, if you want to switch it up, we can try the stretch that we did, where we're stretching out, thumb inside, stretching out, thumb over, stretching out, thumb outside, stretch, inside, stretch, over, stretch, thumb. 3 times as always. Is good. And bring the hands to the floor. Bring the hands to the floor. Bring the hands to your sides. Take a breath. And as you breathe out, just feeling the hands and the feet. Here we are. And then the jaw. So again, everybody's got a different stroking. Because of the jet lag, I think these past couple of weeks, my body has really wanted strong stuff. So hence why the switching up last week was all quite strong. And this one with the tongue, where you draw that line up and down the cheek, has been amazing. And then I added to it at the end, if you find the midpoint between the line up and down and you point the tongue, you get the stretch all the way down the throat. And that just feels really amazing. There's somebody on. Okay, and then we'll do the other side. And point. And then as you release, again, you might want to just quickly have a little gentle stroke, so it's like double the strength. And there we are, dribbling in dribble mode. And we're going to feel our feet and our hands and our face all at the same time. Take a breath. Then I'll jump. So sun salutation, here we go. Feel where the feet are, opening up. And as you begin to move, just noticing how it feels, especially in the upper body where we're going to work. Take a breath in, lengthen the spine. As you breathe out, forward fold. Let the head go, tuck the chin in. In breath, we're looking up, flattening the back. And as you breathe out, we're calming down. Breastbone first, let the head dangle. So you might remember from before that it's quite nice to just circle the head a little bit so it can really truly land. So you can remember what dangling really feels like. And we're going to take a step back with one leg and coming into our groin stretch, our dragon pose, leaning in, feeling the stretch, push the floor away, let the legs relax even more. Once they're fully relaxed, we're engaging the core coming up. And then we're breathing in and reaching. Bringing the hands to the ground and stepping back into our plank pose. So remember, you can do the plank pose with the knees down if it's too much hard work. But you want to feel like you're working so that heart rate goes up. So as the knees come up and you're breathing, you want to feel the work, push the floor away, engage the core, feel that belly button pull back. And then coming down when you've had enough, palm upon palm, and coming into the bottom line. Let the upper body fully relax. It's been working hard, so really let go in the arms. This is only lower body movement. The rest of the body is just resting. Find a nice rhythm. And every time the mind wanders off, just bring it back to that rhythm. Then we need to bring it to stillness when we feel a little response. And just letting go there and noticing how it feels. Becoming more and more familiar, that feeling of relaxation. We're going to bring the hands beneath the shoulders. As we breathe in, we're squeezing the adrenal glands. Lovely. And then pulling up and over into our puppy pose. Leave the hands nicely stuck to the mat and feel that release. And just notice here, how difficult is it actually to get this release to come all the way down the arms through the upper back to the sacrum, because this is kind of where we're going to be working today. We'll be repeating this pose later. It's just nice to have a little comparison. And then we're going to bring the hands a little bit closer in, tuck the toes under, and we're coming into downward dog. So in downward dog, remember initially especially, you don't need to have the knees completely straight, just bend them and reach with the arms. And again, just remembering what we were doing last week, letting go of the head, finding that greasy flagpole, maybe polishing it for a second, and then bringing everything to stretch and stillness, relaxing the jaw, breathing. And then whichever leg came back, it's that leg that will come forwards to do the other side of the groin. So again, we're just feeling into that, pushing the floor away, letting the legs relax even more. And when that's there, it can take a while. Breathing in, reaching up. And then we're going to come into forward bend. So this back foot is coming forward. And we're coming into forward bend, letting the head go. And then breathing in, looking up, flattening the back. And as you come down, letting go of the head. Grabbing hold of the elbows here, just remembering we were trying to release this area last week, orang-tanging our arms a little bit, maybe circling the head. To remind, letting go of the jaw, the tongue. And then a gentle bend curl. Slowly. Find your feet, reaching up, opening up, breathing in. And then we're going to bring the palms together and draw that line down the center of the body. Feeling that line. Is it there? Can you physically feel a line? And if not, draw it. You know, you might need that centering. Just draw it as many times until when you stop in one of those, okay, there it is. And I can feel my right side and my left side. And I can feel where they join. And then I can circle. It's just a really easy, nice centering technique, that one. Lovely. Okay, so then as we come, I'm going to just do a little bit more. I'm going to bend the knees here and just start to go from side to side. This is going to loosen up that Moro area a little bit and help with the spine loosening and the shoulders loosening. So we're looking over each side and we're going to come a bit lower down. Getting those hips rolling, a bit of lubrication coming up a bit higher. And as the arms come up, so this is where we're going to be going today, this under the shoulder blade, arms reaching part of this. Just notice what your lower back is doing. Is it having to stick out or come under? Obviously, when you come lower, the back does change. Can you Make it soft so that it's not doing anything, it's in neutral, coming back up. What happens as you reach? Can you feel something changing up there? And of course, you need to stop when you need to stop. We're going to bring it to stillness and come straight into our pyramid pose, just to ground back, so it can be a bit dizzy. So feel the feet, draw this line through the feet to the hands and shoulders and neck. And you can feel the line there. Take a breath. And as you breathe out, we're going to turn. Bring back to the center. And turn the other way. Feeling that central alignment. We need to do this a couple more times. It's a nice warm up for the area we're going to work on. So turning through that center, and then we come up, bring the feet together. We can just really feel that we are landed in our body. And just notice how it feels, like which part of you is more alive. Maybe it's still the feet, hands and face, or maybe this area is woken up a little bit, or the lower back is woken up. And just tune in with that, with a breath, just so you know where you're starting from. Okay. So we'll do a couple of standing stretches for the Moro, because like I said, this is reliant, the shoulders and the neck and the throat all releasing is reliant on the Moro, because it's the survival reflex that sits right below them. So some nice easy ones, simple, gentle, rocking always works. Been doing this one for donkey's years and it still works. Maybe not quite as strong as the first few times I did it, but you know, it still does the job. So I'm getting into a rhythm. I'm trying to keep the pelvis relaxed and still and the legs grounding, so that only really the upper body is moving. Obviously the pelvis will move a bit, but I'm not doing this. Okay, that you're not getting much movement here. Just trying to keep it isolated to the ribs. And there comes the breath, at which point I'm going to bring it to stillness, and I'm just going to notice how that feels. And do I need more? So maybe you do, maybe you're feeling like, oh, I could do this one. So by now, some of you know what works best for your diaphragm. So this in-breath and holding the breath and pushing back is a very popular one. You could try that. I'm just going to give you a few options. Things that we've done recently. We've got the fingers beneath the ribs. You remember that one where you breathe in, you look up, you can still do it standing, and you just come forward. And fingers dip underneath the rib cage. You might try that one. And then there's this one where you follow the baby and we do the stretching of the hands, looking up, and then the hands come into fists and we come forward. So just see, as time goes on, you will notice which one works really good. Which one does the job just a little bit more than the others. Like I said, for me this week, it's all been about big movements. It's like, seriously, my body has been flying for nearly 2 weeks. I think I landed yesterday. Right, so when you've done that enough, and again, remember to listen to your body, like what is it telling you? Is it time to stop? You don't want to go over, because then you'll start to feel a bit funny, maybe slightly nauseous as well, especially with this one that's near this, my words are not coming out today. Then, you know, it can make you feel nauseous, so you really do need to stop. Okay, so let's give that area a nice stretch. We're going to come into a table pose. So if your knees don't like it, you can bend them right down and actually have your hands on your lower thighs instead. And then we're in table pose, and we're just going to do cat and cat, cat. And just going back to sort of the end of last week's session where we were looking at the oscillation of the shoulder blades. So are they oscillating? Now the shoulder blades going back as you look up and drawing in as you look down. Now, this is quite not too difficult here in the table pose. But if you come a bit further down, if you're able to, and try and do it in a more forward bend position, it becomes harder to get those shoulder blades to oscillate. So you really got to push that breastbone forward and back. And get deeper in, and then you start to feel the neck calm, so relax the jaw, and then we're going to go from there to dangling, relaxing the jaw. Then if you need help with relaxing the jaw, you could always stroke here, or even massage. Stick the thumb in there and give it a bit of a massage. And then seeing the results of that work, letting the head go, and then grabbing hold of it and gently circling or polishing. And of course, how long you stay here will depend on the hamstrings. Bend the knees if they're starting to get in the way of your ability to stay longer. Get that head to really loosen, just reminding ourselves of everything that we've done. When you're done, you can keep the hands there and just use them, not pulling, but like those weights a little bit to create some space in the neck joint. And of course, at any point, we're going to move on from there into downward dog. Keep the head down there. Now, that S to C is going to really come into play here. We're going to do S, C, just like feel those shoulder blades. Are they rotating? Let the head go. When you're done, bring the spine to neutral. Now reach. So this is where we're going today. Getting right beneath the shoulder blades so that we really are able to reach, and that reach affects the sacrum and we can let it go. Relax your jaw, let go of the head. Now don't worry if you didn't feel that, because we're going to be doing more work towards it. And if you're tired at any point, remember you could have come down there to child pose. We're going to reverse though. We're going to come up to standing and gently anchor. Lovely. So we just covered literally 2 of our sessions in one there. So, you know, if it all feels a bit much, remember, feet, hands and face, yeah? Just have a moment, land in your body and bring your feet, hands and face back in. It's a lot of information going into the nervous system. You can check, have I done a good job? Does the top of the spine here, where the head and the neck meet, does that feel lubricated and soft like it did last week? Or it's the week before. Anyway. Lovely. Okay, placing the head in where you think the top of that flagpole is. And you might want to check, like, is it there? Maybe I want to roll my head around a little bit. Find the top of the flagpole. Relax the jaw. We're waking up that little sun that we came to in the back of the neck and throat. And now we're going to start to bring in the shoulders a bit more. So 2 arms up. 1 arm forward, 1 arm back. Look at that back thumb. And then again, keep going. 2 arms up. Other arm forward, other arm back. 2 arms up. 1 arm forward, 1 arm back. And again, if you want to do the eye tracing, it is a possibility here. Remember, you're not looking up as the arms go up. You're trying to draw a line through the center of the room from thumb to thumb. Now that might be too much for your system, and that's okay, because it's not what we're focusing on today. What we're really working on is getting a nice rhythm, getting the movement, getting the head and arms turning together. And when the arms feel like they're going to drop off, we're going to bring them to center and then relax the shoulders. And just feel that orangutangness come in. Might take a moment. And then relax the jaw. Feel that inner sun, feel that head nicely lubricated. Add that to the mix. You might even find that there's a deep breath come in, because the Moro is now going, oh, okay, I don't have to carry the world's burdens on my own shoulders. So that's kind of what it feels like. So coming to what we're going to do a little bit more of today is in a chair pose. So here we are, we're going to sit down and we're going to reach up. So here we can really see the connection actually between this shoulder tension and the sacrum. So we're sitting down in the chair, we know that from the FPR, we're letting go, and then we're trying to reach through the hands. We're not looking up, we're looking straight ahead because we want the head in its nice relaxed position and the jaw dropping. And we're feeling this pull as if somebody is trying to lift us off the floor, and it's coming in beneath the shoulders, and it's actually not that easy to let go. And if you've ever had frozen shoulder, you'll know, because one shoulder will be able to reach easier than the other. Now release the hands when you're done again. We've got orangutan arms, but they're slightly different. Just slightly different, and different little network releasing. Let's try this on one side and then the other. So this time we're going to interlace the fingers. Point the palms of the hands up. You can bend the knees if it helps you to drop, okay? But you might be able to drop anyway. Let the legs go. We're just going to go onto one side and feel that connection. It comes all the way from the little finger down the arm, down the back of the shoulder blade, right down the spine. Back to the center. And over to the other side. So this is what makes us brace, this is where we kind of go, oh, we hold under here. Now don't try it now because it might trigger it, just showing you what it feels like. So that you can sort of sense that, yeah, it's these muscles here that come on the more on the outside this time of the shoulder blade that can get really tight. So, try that as many times as you need. You want to make sure you've got the sacrum dropping. So if it's not, you're not feeling it, then bend the knees and do it in more of a chair pose. And you can also grab hold of a wrist and literally pull on the arm. And that makes it a lot stronger. So it's a side bend, you're sitting down though, and you're feeling that stretch. And then you release. And again, those arms feeling much more orangutan. And of course, we've got the movement that we're trying to get in, the circles. Always nice after a nice linear stretch. Okay, now at this point, we're going to come to sitting. And you don't have to be sitting on your knees. You can be sitting whichever way you want. We're just going to create a little bit of more movement for the shoulder blades now that they're released in a different way. And starting with this Moro move here, with the elbows are level with the shoulders. Now you need to try and orangutan your arms here. And the best way I've found to describe it is as if you've placed your elbows on two pillows and they're kind of suspended in the air, but they're resting on these two pillows. And then we're going to draw the shoulder blades back and the breastbone forward and looking up. And then when the elbows come forward, tuck the shoulders in, tuck the elbows towards each other, tuck the chin in, relax the jaw. We can feel that this has now become a really deep stretch. You might even be feeling a little bit of gristle as you roll over. And you can imagine these wings. So you've got the spine in the center and the wings are flapping either side. And this is right deep inside where no muscle can really get. And again, you want to do it until the arms feel like they're going to drop off. And then you can orangutan your arms by your sides. Just letting go. And then just notice, like, what was your back doing when you did that? So my tail was up, it wasn't in neutral. What happens if you then bring your tail to where it's neither up nor down? Can the head find its place at the top? Can the shoulders remain orangutan? And of course, they get more and more orangutan as we go, right? So we'll start to feel it more in the sacrum in a minute, but first we've got to release up top. So we're going to do the puppy pose. So for the puppy pose, have the hands a little bit further away from you in this floor table. And then we're going to sit back. Try and dangle the head.
might not reach the floor, but it can definitely dangle. And if your mat isn't particularly grippy, you can grab hold of the edge of the mat, because you really want to have this sense of dangling as if you were on monkey bars. And again, we've got the same sensation coming down the side of the arms here. Relax the jaw. And what we're going to do here is a rock. So we sometimes do this in the sun salutation, but we often, because we're in a process, I guess you could say, with the sun salutation, where we're moving from one thing to the next, we perhaps don't do it for as long as we could. So we're going to spend the time here rocking. It's just a gentle rock, not big, a bit like a bottom roll, but for the shoulder blades. Side to side, and then again, there's going to be a response at some point. And at which point you bring it to stillness, and then you let yourself hang. And then you might start to feel that, oh yeah, that's going all the way down to the back of the pelvis. Let go of the throat and the head. Put the head down on the floor, or dangle it more. And if you didn't get it, you can always rock again. And this is the exercise that we really want everybody to feel this, because it's crucial for what comes next. So have a couple of goes. It could be that you weren't rocking quite right, or that you didn't have a rhythm, or you didn't tune into the rhythm. Just take the time that you need to really feel it. When you've enjoyed that, which is like, it's quite an unusual place to stretch, I must admit. It's not like we often go there with this stretching, but there's lots of advantages to it. So when you come up to sitting and you try and circle the breastbone, you know, obviously we're circling the pelvis as well, we know that, but it's like a new movement in there that wasn't possible before. So we're circling one way, feeling that new movement. It might be a bit gristly, but the spine has just been let go of. There's been a holding there. This is where the bracing starts. It's held there, the upper back pain. And for the first time in ages, we're actually managing to get it moving. So don't be surprised if it's like a little bit cranky as it does it. And then, of course, at some point change direction, because it will be different. And as you start to move and, you know, you feel it, the crankiness, you know, you can, and as it softens, you can start to push into those areas that feel the tightest. And just get a little bit more juice out of it. Remember, it's all in the breastbone. You could be circling and only feeling the pelvis move. That's why I've got the hand here. So it's not just for a visual for you, but it's also because I can really isolate my awareness to beneath the hand and make sure that that area is moving. And then, of course, my jaw relaxes and my neck relaxes, and all of a sudden the head wants to roll around, and I've got like these three balls, these three circles happening, which is really nice. The pelvis, the breastbone, the head, and I can go the other way anytime as well. And it's like, oh, the whole spine loosening up. Now, when you get tired of circles, try to line your circles up. So bring the lower circle into neutral, neck and the chest. Take a breath, orangutan your arms. Just feel how great the body feels without this bracing action literally, and not joking, it is that feeling of having the world on your shoulders. And suddenly we've lifted it off and it's like, oh, maybe everything will be all right after all, right? It's really nice. So take a little picture of it, you know, just have a little moment to go, oh, I like this. I want to remember this. Next time when I go to bed, can I bring this in just before I sleep? Or when I have a difficult task to do, can I just bring this in? And one day it might be there permanently, you never know. All right, so we're going to do a forward stretch, coming into sort of what I call the catch-up part of the class, where we bring all of this learning into our yoga poses, this patterning into our yoga poses. So in a forward bend, we have the opportunity to do this stretch with the breath. So nice little visual here. If you imagine your knees are like little mountains, and as you breathe in, your breastbone is like a helium balloon, or a you know, one of those balloons. What's wrong? Hot air balloon. Words aren't coming today. Rising over that. Now, what can happen is that you can tense the shoulders here in your quest to get ever further forward. So instead of having the hands on the feet, bring them to the floor and make your arms heavy. Relax the jaw, let go of the neck. Breathing in. Now I'm keeping the toes up, remember, because we want to have this gland here at the bottom open. And if you've had a really stressful week, you could be sneaking in a little massage here. Remember, it's all allowed. And then I'm thinking about the S to C, because this is part of it as well. So as I pull very gently with the hands without bracing, the hot air balloon lifts over the mountain. And as I breathe out and I pull the core in, hopefully my air balloon does not crash land on my knees. Breathing in, tight pull. Breathing out, core, relax your jaw. Those shoulder blades melt down your back. And feel the flexibility. Perhaps you want to do a little tiny S to C to go, oh yeah, my shoulder blades can still oscillate here. And they actually are oscillating with the breath. Let's try it in this cobra pose. It's one of my favorite poses. Just to have a look at. So we'll be building on this even more with regards to the sacrum next week. It's there, you'll feel it now because we've released so much at the top. But as you come forward here and the hips obviously engage into their stretch, and we need to let them go. We need to remember all about letting go of the legs. Again, there's a tendency, if you're not careful, to tense that and brace up top because it hurts down below. So relax those shoulders, feel them let go into the legs, feel the neck relax, the jaw go. And as you breathe, there's this echo of the S to C. And because the upper body is soft and the jaw is letting go and that lovely sun in the back of the neck is shining bright, it allows that lower back, that sacrum, the psoas, to release with a bit more ease. And if you remember when we were in puppy pose just now and we felt that release down the back into the sacrum, could you recreate that in your memory? And if you do, what happens? You can just stay and explore as long as you want. As things really truly begin to let go, what does that feel like?
And you'll obviously stay for as long as you need to. If something is really beginning to release for the first time ever, it's a really good thing to stay and let it go to its full potential. But if you're ready to move on, we're going to come and look at this in the sideways stretching. So I've got one leg out, one leg in here, and I'm leaning over to the side. I've got my hand here to support me. Now, hopefully by now, because the sacrum is starting to release, the legs are beginning to feel really heavy, but you can still have the hand just to make sure as you bend this elbow and go sideways. And just remind, you're basically reminding this psoas muscle, you do not need to tense, you can leave the leg there, and I can start to feel the stretch. And once that's there, if we bring the arm up and over now, and then we do that reach. So imagine again that somebody's grabbed hold of your wrist and they're pulling, and you can feel it all in that whole shoulder blade trying to come off the body. The breath helps. Check your head positioning. Is it in the right place? Is it at the top of the spine where that little sun is? Relax your jaw. In some yoga traditions, you might turn the head, but you do need to be careful when you turn the head that you rotate it around that sun. Let go. It's a little bit like that chair pose. You know, you're dropping the hip, you're reaching beneath that shoulder blade, getting really deep into that side of the body. And we've got both sides to do. You just take your time, feel the release, let go. So, you know, for me, for example, this side, the psoas is a bit more tricky. I have to spend a bit more time going, yeah, you need to be down there, let go. And then we're reaching. And again, just checking the head. See, I was a little bit collapsed there. My breastbone was a little bit low. And being pulled. I couldn't feel it in the same place. So I was just sort of moving to see like what was wrong. Oh yeah, breastbone was collapsed. If you're going to rotate your head to look at the ceiling, make sure it's right on the top of that sun. Reach, relax the jaw. So, and all classes, the feedback this week has been like they feel a bit taller when you come out, that there's a lightness to the upper half of the body, that there's motion and movement that wasn't there before, particularly deep down in the spine beneath those shoulder blades. But nothing for me compares to what it feels like when you lie down, right? So when you lie down and the body is suddenly supported and really all those muscles can let go, it's like, wow, it's a whole new experience of the floor. So we're going to lie down. We're going to do a few reflexes before we do any other stretching. So just starting with the neck, just going back a few weeks to where we were doing top of the spine, relaxing the jaw. Remember, if you need extra help with relaxing the jaw, do stroke it first, or tap it, or massage it, whatever you need. Use the tongue. We do the tongue exercise we did at the beginning. If your jaw isn't playing ball, just teach it to. Then rock. Rocking the neck. Oh. And you'll feel when you bring that to stillness, the head, it's like that whole network lights up. It's almost like we've opened the sluice gates to an entire canal network and the water just rushes through. And those beautiful messages being sent saying, this is what it's like to release here. I'm going to bring the hands to the rib cage and give ourselves a little bit of a rib cage rock. So you might find that the rib cage is a little bit looser. We're no longer bracing it. We're no longer holding it with the wings. So again, this might feel quite different, getting into a nice, gentle rhythm. Gentle, gentle rhythm. And then, again, you're just watching. What's the response? When it comes, that breath, that change, and you bring it to stillness, like what sluice gate has been opened here and how does that feel? And where does the water flow to? It might feel like a million little canals. That's okay. Or you might just have one or two very obvious central ones. Relax the jaw, let go in the neck. And now as we come in to do our bridge pose, trying to keep that sacrum as relaxed as possible as you lift. Feel how the head naturally rolls in. You don't need to lift it. You just naturally roll in. The higher you get, the more it rolls in. Relax the jaw, the more it rolls in. Now, the couple of little catch-up points here. Again, if you've had a stressful week, you could massage your adrenal glands whilst you're here. You could just feel how relaxed your arms are, how the shoulder blades move. And of course, you can only stay as long as your core will let you. So working that core. When you feel you need to come down, if you want to experience this release again, bring the arms up and over. Again, have somebody pull the arms right into the shoulder blades. And then as you roll down, a little bit of tension there. Maybe give it a rock. Rock it until the tension goes. And then you drop down some more, relax the jaw, the neck. So here's the Moro. And we can sort of feel like this is a big dam here for our lovely canal network. And by rocking it, we're sort of loosening it off. Reaching, relaxing the jaw, the throat. Rocking it out. Even when the pelvis touches the ground, if you're still reaching and feeling tension in that diaphragm, I would carry on rocking. Once the weight of the pelvis comes down, release the arms. You could carry on rocking. So you could rock here with the legs and take it up. This is a bit this wasn't planned. I just thought, oh, it might be nice to do the rope here. So legs going, rib cage going, head going. And then we bring it all to stillness, release the arms, and again, just watch what happens. Relax that jaw, let go in the back of the neck. Feel the weight, the arms orangutan them even more. Feel how the shoulder blades move with the breath, just ever so slightly. Then you release a little more. We're going to bring the hands up, sides, now into our T shape. Again, release the arms. Every time we move them, we've got a tendency to brace a little bit. What sluice gates open here? As last week, we're going to roll the head first. Now, the reason we're rolling the head first is to get used to the idea of rolling it and not picking it up and turning it. Once the head's in position, if you want to, you can bring the hand to the temple and not pull, but just provide a little bit of resistance there. Feel what needs to stretch underneath that shoulder blade. And then we're going to place the foot on the knee and very slowly push that leg over. And as you push it over, just feel the movement in the whole of the spine and feel it come under the shoulder blade. And if you want to, you can have the hand on the knee and create a nice little lock between the hands, and the body in between each hand is just softening. And breathe. When you decide to come out of this, release the hands first. Be very cautious moving the head. It's had a good on stretch. So again, just be aware that you're just rolling the head back to the middle, not lifting it. As you center, notice there's a really big difference between the two sides, huh? And then we're going to go over to the other side. So the head is rolling. First, you can place the hand in position. Place the foot on the knee. Let yourself roll over to the other side. If you want to use the hand, you can. And just allowing everything between the hands to totally melt. Again, as always, you're spending the right amount of time there. If something is releasing for the first time, you need to give it the time it needs. When you come back to the center, remember to just be careful with the head. Just roll it. Feel the difference in the shoulders. Just from this patterning being so open and so flowing that, you know, these stretches that we do every week feel different. As we sit on the hands, there is a slight danger of tension in the shoulder blade. So feel the weight on the elbows. Let the head roll, don't lift it. And let the elbows take some of the work, but also the breath. So as you breathe in, support the stretch with your breathing. Try not to tense between the shoulder blades. Try not to push them together. They're together anyway. They don't need any help. When you feel ready to roll down, again, just be very cautious with the head. Make it as heavy as it is meant to be. Roll it in, release the hands. And again, what's happening in this upper body, the sluice gates opening, and you might notice that some of that water is starting to come down into the lower back. And so with every out breath, you can feel how supported that upper back is. And it's not a common feeling, this, for most of us. So again, let's take a photo, an internal photo of what this feels like. Release the jaw, the throat. Hopefully you've got something warm nearby that you can just drag over you right now.
You don't have to be cold. You'd be ashamed to get cold because cold really affects the area that we've just worked. As you breathe, let the breath come in. Allow yourself to feel the breath and how it affects these waterways that we're working through. So you're breathing in, and you can feel that breath like water flowing through all our little canals. And you can just feel that almost like energy flowing through you and releasing everything that you need to release. So you breathe in, and you can feel that life force energy that is the breath come in through the body, into the body, and then disperse through this network all the way down the arms to the fingertips, all the way up the neck, into the jaw, the throat, across the face, the eyes, the brow, the top of the head. Breathing in, that life force energy that is the breath comes in and energizes this canal network and sends the water down the top of the shoulders, the breastbone, into the diaphragm, and travels down the lower back to fill the slightly neglected lower network. But we've got memories of what it's like to feel the legs let go, to let this warm water through the canals come down through the hips, through the knees, calves, the shins, the ankles, the feet, and all of the toes. So as you breathe in, you can feel the breath, a very, very light wind stimulating this water, this life force energy to flow through. And as you breathe out, think of your body as a landmass through which these canals are etched. And this landmass is resting on the crust of the earth. Let yourself fully sink into the ground. Breathing in. Feel all the aliveness of all of these beautiful energetic canals within the waterways. And as you breathe out, feeling those waterways in the landmass that is your body, resting on the earth's crust as you completely let go into the earth. And you can, like this, you can keep the breath going for a few more breaths. And then it's always nice to release the awareness of the breath, just let the breath go back to normal and have a moment to feel the whole thing at once. The landmass that is your body, the crust beneath you, the waterways flowing, the breath coming in and out naturally now. So you can be aware of everything all at once, just for a moment. Again, as you breathe in, you can feel the breath flowing in, moving through you. Breathing out, feeling the weight as you let that landmass that is your body sink into the earth. And then slowly having moments where you can feel the two simultaneously. And gently and slowly say goodbye. Stay for as long as you need. Let your body do what it needs to do. See you all next week.